Jesus proclaimed the gospel of the kingdom and cured every disease among the people. Alleluia, alleluia.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and went to live in Capernaum by the sea, in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, that what had been said through Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled. Land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way to the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. People who sit in darkness have seen a great light. On those dwelling in a land overshadowed by death, light has arisen. From that time on, Jesus began to preach and say, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." As he was walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and his brother Andrew, casting a net into the sea. They were fishing. He said to them, "Come after me, and I will make you fishers of men." At once they left their nets and followed him. He walked along from there and saw two brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets. He called them, and immediately they left their boat and their father and followed him. He went around all of Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness among the people. The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
One of the things that we take for granted because of modern day inventions is we take for granted light. And inventions include such things as the light bulb. I remember when I was in Southwest Asia, there's nothing as dark as a desert at night. You can't see 6 inches in front of you, especially if the moon is not full. Which, maybe not an issue here, but it called to mind the famous verse in the book of Psalms. Your word, O Lord, is a lamp unto my feet. In order to walk safely in an environment where it's pitch dark, a person really needs a flashlight, something to shine at his feet, because with rough terrain, it's easy to fall into a pit of some sort. Darkness is something we take for granted, but we have to understand that there are very few things that we can accomplish without light. It's noteworthy that the first thing that God said in the Bible, let there be light. The conception was that before the creation of the world, there was nothing but darkness. God uttered those words, then there was light. And then creation began. Creation is depicted then as light dispelling darkness. When Jesus came, as the readings indicate for today, it said, "A people dwelling in darkness have seen a great light." What does that mean? Darkness here means the darkness of sin, of death, error, falsehood, and so forth. We use the term benighted for a person who's in darkness. We use the term enlightened for someone who is quite aware, quite brilliant. Somebody who has a good idea is said to be enlightened. Now, it's interesting that people who write history, and it's not always the case, but many times we're dealing with people who are not believers who write history, they seem to indicate that our society has become more enlightened as people have abandoned superstitions. I use that in quotation marks because they're usually talking about faith, our faith. What is so enlightened about a society that has seen over the past 44 years the destruction of 56 million children in the womb? Really nothing. We have the technology, we're advanced in that respect, but we're not particularly enlightened in other ways. The point of the matter being that we need the light of Christ to penetrate the darkness of our hearts and our culture. There are many people, of course, who follow the light of life, the light of life who is Jesus, but we need more. Jesus said, "I am the light of the world." This is John 8:12. "No follower of mine will ever walk in the darkness." To follow Jesus is to live in the faith. Faith is a form of enlightenment. Some people think that faith is darkness. It really isn't. Just because we can't see something with our physical eyes doesn't mean that faith is inferior. It's really a superior kind of knowledge. St. Paul says we see now dimly as in a mirror. In those days, mirrors were not polished glass, but they were polished metal, so things were kind of distorted. But when things develop, we shall see clearly. We shall see God face to face if we are true to our faith. Sometimes our faith teaches us things that our eyes would have no way of comprehending by themselves. Such as the claim that when the priest says the word of consecration, we have the body and blood of Jesus on the altar. But this is the enlightenment of faith. Faith enlightens people. Darkness is something that must be dispelled. Paganism is a form of darkness. Paganism means the loose morals that characterize so much of our society. We need the light of Jesus to penetrate everywhere. And we need to be lights, meaning reflectors of Jesus. I remember the story about the little boy who was in the classroom and the teacher asked, "Well, what is a saint?" He raised his hand and he thought about the stained glass windows in his church. He said, "Well, a saint is somebody through whom the light shines." It's true. So the question is, are we people who let the light of Jesus shine through us? Important question. And I say this not to discourage anybody, that is the point, but it's really to bring people to a higher level. Understand that it's not really all about us, but as we give ourselves over to the light of Christ, we help to disseminate His light in the world. And the world will be a better place for Him. And ultimately, of course, we might even win some people for Christ who are living in darkness, maybe not through their own fault, they really don't know. They need to see the light that Jesus promised that he would give to us. If we follow him, we will never walk in darkness.